Yes, meu medo de pior.
All righty. It looks like I've got everything set up. We are live streaming now on 3 different Facebook channels. We're live streaming on YouTube. We're live streaming on Instagram. And we got a bunch of nice people in here. We've got about another minute before we want to get started. And so I want to definitely give time for people to come in. And I'm looking through the chat now. I see we have Mary from Denver. And we have Tammy from Michigan. And Tammy has diverticulitis, psoriatic arthritis, a couple of stents put in. Oh, it's time to do some work, Tammy, right? We know that. And Noor is here. And we have Amelia here too. Hi, Amelia. Hi, Amelia. And let's see, who else do we have in here? Please feel free to write in the chat. Oh, Amelia says she doesn't have the camera on. Well, that's okay, Amelia. We were late running to talk to you today anyway. It's just been such a busy day around here. So we will definitely talk to you on the back end.
Hi, Amelia. Hi, everybody.
That's Noor. Say hi, Noor.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Noor works with me here, and he's just wonderful. He's one of my health strategy managers here, and so we're going to see if we can't have some fun today. And I just got to let some more people in here. There we go. And you guys are probably going to hear that, because you know how it is. People are always coming in, and sometimes people come in a little late. And so if you hear that ding, that's all it is. I'm just letting people in. And let's see who we have here. We have, I see Barbara from Kansas City. Awesome. I'm so glad you all are here. And let me just make sure and let a couple of people in. You guys would be so proud of me managing the tech. I am a scientist. I am not a tech wizard. But I make it happen somehow. I don't know how I do all this tech, but I do. All right. So got everybody so far. All right. Well, what I want to do, I don't want to waste anybody's time today. I basically want to take the time to just teach you some things today. Right now, a lot of people have already seen a wonderful video that I make. And if you haven't, don't worry, I'm going to send it out to you as a freebie. As a matter of fact, if you all hang out for the length of our time here today, I am going to send out to you what we call our step-by-step cellular transformation training. And let me tell you, you are going to absolutely love this. It has got so many awesome videos in it that you can watch. And basically, the bottom line of this training that I want to give to you all for free is that it's just going to give you hope. Okay, because I know there is so much misinformation out there. There is so much lack of knowledge amongst our doctors that doctors are literally operating 17 years behind the latest science. I mean, come on. People die within 17 years waiting for the doctor to get their training so that they can practice the latest science. And that's just, I'm sorry, but as a scientist, that rubs me the wrong way. If we have science available, then darn it, it needs to be in your hands, and it needs to be in your hands right now so that you can use it, right? And so that's what we're here to do. And unfortunately, because doctors take so long, it takes so long to get the science through the medical schools. It takes so long for doctors to finally start changing the way they practice, right? And so nowadays, really, with the evolution of medicine that we're in right now, nowadays, we literally do have to, if we want to do it right anyway, we need to add a scientist to our health.
Contractor back. No. Oh.
Yeah, and if there's just a little bit of
Sorry.
So it's all right. Just go ahead and mute yourself. That's fine. We're totally cool here. Yeah. So anytime you guys want to talk, though, please feel free to raise your hand. And I love it when people give me all the little hearts and all the little, give me the little smiley faces and all that. I love seeing that while I'm talking because it just, picks me up, makes me happy. And the other thing too is that, please feel free to write questions in the chat. I'm going to try to monitor the chat at the same time. But if for some reason you write something in there, I don't get right away, I mean, please feel free to unmute and just interrupt me. Okay. Or just put the little hand raised thing in there so I can see it. Right. And because I want this time to be really good, personal for you. I want you to be able to get your personal questions answered. I know that we have a whole lot of people here today and more people are going to be coming in, but I want to hang out here with you today and really hope that you need. Okay. So,
I'm like, he knows what I'm saying. Tell him to find somebody to play with.
If y'all aren't asking questions, then go ahead and yourself so that way we don't have the background noise going on. And let's just take a look to see who all is here. If you just popped in, please go ahead and put your name in the chat and please put where you're calling from, where you're coming from. I see Brenda from North Carolina. Brenda, I want to know what part of North Carolina, because I did my PhD training at Duke University and North Carolina State. And at the NIEHS there, that's where I did my PhD fellowship in autoimmunity. And so I love North Carolina. I'm in San Diego now, but North Carolina is awesome. And it looks like Noor is doing me a favor and keeping up with the chat. Thank you so much, Noor. That is such a help. Winston-Salem. Who's here from Winston-Salem? That is awesome.
I have a suggestion. It would be amazing if everybody who has a camera, just for 5 seconds, turn on their camera, say where they are, just a short intro about themselves. That would be a lot more interactive and nice for everybody, I think.
To do that. Noor always has such great ideas. I see Charisse from Topeka, Kansas. I see Carrie from Georgia. I'm getting ready to go to Atlanta next week for this huge conference, you guys. It's all the top doctors and scientists in precision root cause care. And oh man, I just can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. Dr. Josh Axe is there. Dr. Daniel Pompa is there. The people from Cellcore are there. All the top doctors in our field are going to be there. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. I get to go hang out with everybody, and I just love it. All right. So yeah, I would love to see people on camera. And if you want to unmute and just say hi and where you're from. We'll take a few minutes to do that while we're waiting for more people to jump in, and then we'll get started teaching.
We have Barbara. All right. Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm okay. And you guys?
Good. We're awesome. We love doing these. These are so much fun.
But I hope
Yeah.
I learn some more. I have MS and it's just been diagnosed a little less than a year. So
Okay. All right. Well, we got some work to do then. Well, I know that everybody here has some work to do, that's for sure. But anytime we have a very severe diagnosis like MS, I want you to know, Barbara, that there are ways that you can reverse your symptoms. Okay. And that is very real. That's not just a pipe dream that I'm giving to you. That is very real. And I can prove it to you with a lot of science and a lot of great people who are in our field who are doing it, right? You know who Terry Walls is, don't you?
no.
You don't know Terry Walls. All right.
No.
So while we're talking today, I want you to get up in your browser and I want you to type in Dr. Terry Walls, and you are
Okay.
going to see some amazing work from her. Okay. Anyone who has MS or any kind of MS type symptoms, so neurological symptoms, we're talking, the gait problems, even mental health issues, because it starts to affect your cognition, right? Numbness, tingling, lots of different weird twitches and things like that, right? If you've got those types of symptoms, they are reversible to a great extent. And just because you have a diagnosis of MS, or even if you don't have a diagnosis yet, but you've got all these weird symptoms, okay, these things are reversible. And please hear me up front, okay? I've been a born-again Christian for 35 years, and I'm going to be 1,000,000% honest. I'm going to be 1,000,000% honest with people that, when I say you can reverse, I really do mean that you can reverse your symptoms. That is scientifically possible today. But do I mean that we can cure you completely 100% in 2 months? No. Okay. And please hear that loud and clear. I want you to know that while science has changed dramatically, we are in the evolution of medicine. There is so much we can do to help you feel better. The average we can get you better is 50 to maybe 100%, right? But it really does depend on you.
Hi, Jessica.
Hello?
What they doing, Roscoe?
Oh, okay. I think she's talking to somebody else. Yeah. So the average that we can get you better is literally like 60 to even 100%. It just depends, right? It depends on you and what's going on in your body. But guess what? Like if you only get 50% better, how many of you think, just tell me in the chat, how many of you think it would be worth it if there was something new out there that could help your symptom, your worst symptom, only 50%? Do you think that it would be worth it for you to do whatever that thing is?
Oh, yeah, I think it would actually. I just want to get back to work. I've been a nurse for 18 years and MS has just been attacking me.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. We need to be willing to do whatever it takes, whatever the latest science says. We need to be willing to do it, because guess what? Your conventional doctor and taking all those medications, it's not doing the job, is it? I mean, is anyone getting absolutely amazing cures from their regular doctor and their medications right now? Because if you are, I want to know. you might be getting some symptom relief.
I get a little bit of symptom relief, but nothing really.
Yeah. But do you think that with all those medications that you're actually getting to the bottom line root cause of why you got sick in the first place?
No.
No. No. And that's exactly right. And what having a good scientist on your team, and of course I'm here, right? That's why we're here. Having a good scientist on your team is going to help you to find your root causes. And I'm going to give you a little insight here. Literally, we can find your root causes, pretty much most of them, within the first few weeks of working together. And then you would know your root causes, and then you can start doing some very specific work on those root causes. And then you will start seeing some better results in your health. Now, does what I just said, does that make sense to everybody? Is that what everybody really wants from their doctor? Yeah? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
We really want, right? We really want to go to the doctor, let the doctor tell us what's wrong.
We'll work on it tonight or in the morning.
Yeah, if you're coming on, go ahead and mute yourself so that we don't have the background noise. And yeah, that's what we really want from medicine, right? We want to have a symptom, and then we want to go to the doctor, and the doctor says, yep, I know exactly why that's happening. Here's your root cause. And then we want the doctor to fix the root cause. Isn't that what we really want?
Yes.
Yeah. But what really happens? Someone tell me what really happens. Someone just open up their mic and tell me what really happens. Don't be shy.
The doctors
Yeah.
give you pills to mask your problems.
Hello.
Exactly.
Exactly. Because that's what the pharmaceutical industry has trained. You know that the pharmaceutical industry pays for the medical schools? It's all in one big place. Do you know that the pharmaceutical industry is in cahoots with our government and all of the NIH and all of the funding that takes place? Okay. So it's all.
I feel the doctor just gives me meds just to get me to shut up.
I'm sorry, but isn't
It's sad, but
isn't that
yeah.
what
I feel that.
They
They
spend
give you
10
medicine to
minutes.
keep you coming back.
Well, and I know they do want to help you. I don't want to totally denigrate conventional medicine. They really do want to help you, but they only have certain tools to help you with, and it's diagnose you. And if they can't diagnose you, then they're going to probably, just give you some pill for whatever symptom, right? But even if they do diagnose you, then they're going to give you pills for all your symptoms, right? Or they're going to give you a surgery. They're going to give you something like that, right? And is that really helping anybody to get to the root cause?
Nope.
No, it's not. And so that's what science can do today for you. Now, maybe 30 years ago, that was much harder. We didn't really know all the root causes of autoimmune disease or heart disease or Alzheimer's. We didn't really know back then, okay? But today we do. And so who wants to know what those root causes are? Is that why you're really here?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, then, first of all, because, I get to talking, right? So I still want to hear from some other people that are here. If y'all want to say hi and, and say why you're here, I would still like to hear a little more from people. And don't be shy. Oh, I'm not sure who this this is, but she's awfully cute and she looks shy to me. All it says is iPhone, so I don't know your name.
Yes, let's start with you. Your camera is on. Let's get on with it.
Yeah, lady in pink.
Awesome, awesome.
There she goes. There she goes.
Oh, your
And we have to
mic is off.
unmute her. Yep, we gotta unmute her. She can unmute herself too.
Hello.
There she is.
Yes, I got it. I'm so sorry. I'm not too bright with the Zoom. I'm
It's
walking. I went out for my evening walk and I was trying to figure how to get in.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're here. And
Yeah.
who are we talking to?
My name is
Elena.
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 Yes,
Hi,
Elena.
Elena, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet everyone.
Nice to meet you.
Awesome. What are you suffering with, Elena?
Oh wow.
A
I
lot?
have a basket. I guess my thing is like a basket. I do suffer from major depression, PTSD,
Mm,
and I do have insomnia and
mhm,
almost everything in between, brain fog. And,
mhm,
yeah.
mhm. Yeah. When you can't sleep, it definitely affects your emotional health and your mental health.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
It all goes together.
today was one of the day I couldn't sleep last night, and my day didn't start until like 2 p.m.
That's hard. That's Yeah. Okay. So I got to tell you guys a story. So most of you guys know, if you've been following me for a little while, you know that I was like super, super sick for a long time. I had 7 autoimmune diseases, 7 diagnosed autoimmune diseases. And then they were also telling me that they thought I had lupus on top of it all. And I was a horrible insomniac. That was one of the worst parts of being sick, because I would literally not sleep for like maybe 2 whole days. And then I would fall apart and, completely sleep. Right. And then not sleep for 2 days and, and fall out. And so, yeah, I know how difficult that is. I know exactly how difficult that is. Yeah. So who else wants to jump on and say hi?
Okay, iPhone tried to, and Charis is there. I think she wants to talk also. Looks like.
There we go.
Doing.
There we go. Yeah, you guys feel free to unmute and say hi.
Hi,
Yeah, hi. Hi, what's your name?
Mia. Oh, that's me or her.
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
Was it Mia?
Mia, yes.
I heard
Yeah.
you.
Hi, Mia. How are you
Hello.
doing?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
Good. What are you suffering with, Mia?
High blood pressure and headaches.
Okay, well, they go together, and there is a reason. It's not happening for no reason, right?
Well, when I was younger, I had a car injury and I had a head injury, but
Oh,
it never,
my.
9 years old and now I'm 55, but never bothered me. And I don't think this is part of that, but they just tied it to that. But it's a whole different type of headache. And then they put me Emgality injections. That's $1,200 a month.
Ooh, oh my gosh. Wow, you could find all your root causes and get them all fixed for less than that.
And then this,
Oh my gosh.
it's like now my body knows every 28 days, if I don't get it that 28 day, my head just go to hurt. So I don't want to depend on nothing like that.
I know.
And every time I go to the doctor now, every 3 months, they put me on another blood pressure pill. So now I'm on 4 blood pressure pills. That is insane. So I just started juicing and walking and doing some different stuff, exercise. So my blood pressure has come down a lot.
Good for you. And
But
see,
I
you're
want
not even working at the root cause level yet. You're just working at that top level of helping with your diet, getting some exercise, right? Which is very important. Okay. Everybody has to do that to get well, just so you know. So, so if you're here and you're one of those people that say, oh no, you mean I have to change my diet to get better? Well, you might as well just, hang up right now. Because you're not going to like me very much.
It says, like you say, the root cause is what we need to be dealing with instead of just pacifying or just temporary relief. I'm tired of temporary relief.
You got it. You got it. And why wouldn't we work at the root cause level if we can, right? Yes. I mean, yes. It's a little bit of insanity, just like you said. It is insanity that all doctors can do for us really is just throw pills at us and then throw more pills at us and then throw more pills at us. And do you guys know that those pills are actually causing future cellular damage? Because what they're doing is they're putting in more toxins, which I mean, this is all science. This is, they block the cellular receptors, right? So then your nutrition doesn't get into the cell like it's supposed to. Okay. And why do you think that every time you get a medication, there's this big, long package insert that basically says, oh my gosh, you could have this problem and you could have that problem. Yeah. You could have this problem and you could have that problem, right? Because that's what they do. And pharmaceutical companies know that they cause side effects. What do you think those side effects are? Do you think they're good for you? No. Right? That's cellular damage. That's cellular damage. It's tissue damage, And so really, what we specialize in here, and it's all about getting to that root cause, okay? Then working very specifically at the root cause and doing all the things that science knows to help us to get optimally healthy. So have you guys all heard the term biohacking before? Okay, that's basically what we're doing. We're using the latest science and we're finding those root causes first because that's super important and that takes testing, okay? And then once we find those root causes, then we can go very specifically and work on those root causes. Now, how many of you guys already know what all of your root causes are? Have you been to like a really good precision functional medicine person or root cause person, and have they done a battery of tests for you? And so now you know all of your root causes that you have to fix. How many here have those answers already? Probably not very many people, right? Yeah. Yeah, but you can't. This is what's available today, right? It's just that most people don't know that it's available, okay? And if you go to your regular doctor, your doctor does not practice root cause medicine. So therefore, he's not going to tell you, right? But if you work with a scientist, or there are chiropractors who do this as well. They just might not have the same level of expertise, but they will still do some of the functional medicine testing, some of the good gut testing, and some of the good toxicity testing. They will still do that. Right. But when you come to a place like here, we're one of the few places in the world, by the way, that is actually run by a scientist. Okay, so there's a lot of chiropractors, there's a lot of naturopaths, not a whole lot of scientists actually practice. And the whole reason why I'm practicing is because the Lord put me here to help you. And you can believe that or you can not believe that, but it's just the truth. This is my life. Most of you have been following me for a little while and you know my story. And the Lord literally took me back from the brink of death. And then as I was healing, took me a couple of years to heal. Okay, it was not a quick fix. But once I got there, then the Lord showed me also that, well, this is why I allowed you to go through all this hell in the first place. Right? Because you're supposed to be out there teaching the truth to people. Most scientists are teaching other doctors. That's what we do. right? We work in medical schools and we work, we work at the PhD level and we're teaching other doctors or nurse practitioners, right? What I've chosen to do is teach you directly. And so it is definitely different, right? And so when you work with us, it's an awesome experience. I think most of our clients are just, super happy to be in our programs because you're not only getting that level of scientific expertise that you probably aren't going to get most other places, but I mean, I'm sorry to kind of toot my own horn, but I just got to tell you the truth. Okay. And then the other thing too, is that we are a Christian mission. And so we've got the whole spiritual thing wrapped up in this as well. And, we love our clients, right? And, we want to give you that psychological support. We want to give you the love of Jesus Christ. We want to put you in groups where we all get each other and we're all supporting each other and we're all loving each other through this process of getting well. And so working here is definitely a little bit different than what you might be used to, just walking into a doctor's office, sitting down for 10 minutes, waiting for a half an hour because he's always late, and then he takes 10 minutes and writes you a prescription. Okay, this is definitely different. So what I want to do, if you guys will allow me, if it's okay with you, I want to skip through some slides and I want to go straight to the meat, and I want to show you what science knows your root causes are. Are y'all ready for that?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. So I'm going to skip ahead because most of you guys, and if you don't know my story, I'll send you stuff on the background. I got to tell you about, okay, look, you guys, this is Dorothy. Okay, Dorothy is one of my clients. She's a doctor herself. Okay, so we have lots of high professional people who come to a place like ours because they want to get training from a scientist, right? And Dorothy came to us with very severe scleroderma. Her hands are already affected. Her face was very much affected. It's a very severe autoimmune disease. And of course, what she was told is that she was incurable. That's what I was told too. And she says, Dory completely changed my life, and and she thanks us from the bottom of her heart. And why is that? Why do people say that? They say that because we truly are doing the Lord's work in the world, right? We truly are giving you the truth of the science and teaching you how to use it, so then you can be the CEO of your own health. You no longer, when you get done with a program with us, you might need to come back once a year just so I can do some testing with you and make sure that you're okay, right? That once a year thing. But you're going to be the CEO of your own health. You're going to understand why you're sick. You're going to know your root causes. You're going to know why your symptoms are happening in your body. You're going to know how to fix them. And you're going to understand why you're doing what you're doing, right? And that's what's important. I don't want to just give you a protocol and let you, okay, and then a month later you come back and tell me whether you did half of it or not. That's crazy, you guys. That's not going to work. What is going to work is if you actually know why you're doing what you're doing, and you understand your protocol, you understand your symptoms, you understand your root causes. So you're taught, you're trained, and then you are in control again of your health. Now, how many people here really, well, let me ask you this. Would you rather be a victim of your health and be stuck like you kind of are now? And I know what the answer is, right? Or, well, some people kind of want to play the victim, but that's a different story, right? None of us really want to be the victim, right? We just think we're stuck here, but we're not. Okay. And that is a truth that I want to get across to you today. I mean, I'm going to blab, blah, 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 blah for a long time. And you might hear half of what I say. But I want you to stop and hear what I'm going to say to you right now. Okay. The truth is real. The science is real. You don't have to stay stuck where you are. There are so many things that you can be doing to help yourself feel better. But the difference between someone like me, who is healed now, or mostly healed at least now, and someone like you is that you've never worked with a scientist before. You've never had good training before. You don't know what your root causes are. You don't know how to fix them. So of course, right now, because of lack of knowledge, you're where you're at. But you could easily be in a much better place, right? And all that takes is being willing to do the work, okay? And I'm always super honest with people about that, because you can't half-a this. It won't work, okay? You just can't. You really have to get in there and do the work. You do have to change your diet. You do have to change your lifestyle. You do have to work on your stress. You do have to follow a protocol. You do have to take some extra supplements. Maybe there's a special treatment you need to do, like an ozone treatment or this or that, okay? There are things you have to do to get your health back. But you know, if you're willing to do them and you understand that you're never going to be perfect at it, and that you're just willing to take those baby steps every day, right? You're going to get better. There's no way you can't get better if you're willing to work at it. That's the truth that I want to get across to you today. Now, if you're the other kind of person and you're like, nah, this sucks, just give me my pharmaceutical, I'm fine. You know, I just want to eat my M&Ms every night, and I want to go out for pizza and beer all the time and whatever, then, you know, say goodbye now, because I can't help you, right? But if you are a person who, okay, you know you're going to screw up your diet, okay, everybody does. You know you're probably going to self-sabotage a little bit, okay, everybody does, okay? But if you're just willing to put that work in and maybe get 85 or 90% work, and maybe you're screwing up 10% of the time, you're still going to get better. Okay. You're still going to get better. And I see it in all my clients every day. So I know it's true. And I saw it in myself too. And I know how much I screwed up, and I still got better. Right. So
Actually, can I jump in for 1 second?
Yes.
We have Emilia here. We would be so happy if Emilia just talked like for 10 seconds. I mean, Emilia, how was it working with Dory? How Dory was able to help you?
Amelia, is her mic on? Yes, no? I think, no, she's not muted. I don't think so.
Yeah, she got unmuted. So she should.
Can you hear us, Amelia? Oh, maybe she can't hear us yet.
Okay, okay, no problem. Technical issue.
We'll come back to her in a little bit.
Okay, yeah. There
we go. And sorry about all the dings, you guys, if there's more people coming in. Yeah. So that's the bottom line that I just want to make sure that everybody hears out of this talk, is that you're not stuck. Okay. And I don't care if a doctor told you that you're incurable and you have to stay on your medications for the rest of your life and all this other bull, you know what? Okay. Now, it might be true that you might need smaller amounts of some medications for a long term, depending on what you're dealing with. Okay. But it's also more likely true that you can get off of most of your medications. Okay. And you will probably be better off if you do get off of most of your medications. Okay. Now, please hear me loud and clear That does not mean that you can, because Dory came on a Zoom call and told you that you can get off your medications and you're all going to go, okay, I don't need these anymore. I'm going to throw them in the trash. Please don't do that. Okay. You can make yourself super sick doing that. So don't do that. Okay. But if you're working at the root cause level and you're actually getting rid of those root causes, and at the same time, you're fixing all those genetic deficiencies and the cellular deficiencies and the biochemical deficiencies, then over time, as you're working on those root causes, yes, you can slowly start getting off of many medications, right? And wouldn't that feel great, you guys, not to be tethered to those things anymore?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is what is possible as long as you guys are willing to do the work. And you have to be willing to do the work, because I wouldn't ever let you in this program here if you weren't, because I don't want to work with people who don't do the work, because it's no fun, right? I want to work with people who are serious about you're done, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you're ready to make some significant changes in your life, and you're willing to work and make it happen, right? And so long as you're that kind of a person and you're willing to take those baby steps, you're going to get there. You're going to get your results. Okay. So I'm going to go past my crazy nightmare story, because most of you guys kind of already know it. And I kind of alluded to it earlier that I was sick for a long, long time and got better. And the Lord, showed me that there was new science and that I could do this. And so the bottom line is, literally my health is completely transformed now, right? And I've lost 100 pounds. I've reversed pretty much all of my root causes. I still have a little bit of heavy metals still stuck in my body. I still have just a little bit of Klebsiella growth in my gut. And so, we say that I'm about 95% healed. And that's of 7 very severe autoimmune diseases that had me disabled for a long time, right? And so this is what's possible now. And I'm not some, special case, right? I am just another woman just like you. I was 54 years old when I started working on my health. So I had 54 years of treating my body like crap and not knowing that I was creating my own illness by doing so. And now I've reversed so many things and I'm crushing it. Okay. I feel great now, and I might not be perfect, but nobody is. And that's okay. Right. So there's my granddaughter, Jana. And she's all grown now, but she was a major reason for why I started healing in the first place. And so if you don't know me, I'm just a scientist, okay? I've got a master's and PhD education in immunotoxicology on the research side. And my PhD work was done at the National Institutes of Environmental Health Sciences. I've been in the medical field for 25 years. So I kind of know my stuff. And I love being that, that geeky brain. This is just the way God created me. And I am weird, okay? Just so you know, when you work with me, I am dorky and weird and funny, just like your typical geek. And we have a lot of fun when we work with people here. We really do. But the bottom line is we want to get you well, right? So I'm going to pass up some of this stuff. Oh, there's Jackie. I got to tell you about Jackie, though. Okay, Jackie. Jackie is one of my clients who she was always sick from the time she was a little girl. And she says, imagine getting your health back. She says, I've been sick my entire life, but Dory found my root causes and we did so affordably for her because she didn't have a whole lot of money. Oops. And then she says, I wish I had found her sooner. Don't wait, do this now. And the reason why is because you don't want to put stuff off. Okay. If there's a way for you to feel better, please don't put it off. Right. Even if you only have to take little baby steps in order to start finding your root causes, even if you can't do a whole program right now, okay, doesn't matter. At least take a step in the right direction and start working on your health. It's super important, right? And so imagine, you guys, this is what you can do. Imagine what your life will look like, even if your symptoms only got 50% better. That's huge. It's huge. But what if you got 75% better, man? What if you got 95% better, man? Okay. This is total life transformation for people. And this is what the science has to offer us today. So I'm going to pass up a bunch of this. There's another thing that I'm going to send to you. After the fact, I'm going to send you some awesome training for free if you hang out, and so some of that you'll get in the training. But I just want to show you that there are literally 600,000 research studies out there that prove one thing. So now I'm going to get to the meat of this talk, okay? And I promise I won't make it super hard. I won't be too much of a geek on you, okay? This should be really easy. 600,000 research studies, and they all prove one thing, that if you don't feel good, the reason why is because of chronic inflammation. And even if your doctor does some tests and says, no, you don't have any significant inflammation, walk out of there and slam the door, okay? Because 600,000 research studies cannot be wrong, but your doctor sure can be, okay? And it all does really boil down to chronic inflammation in the body, okay? All disease boils down to chronic inflammation in the body, okay? And we're really talking all disease, even autism, even cancer, even being overweight, okay? Even mental health issues, even behavioral issues in children, okay? Depression, anxiety, all of it, it has to do with chronic inflammation. Your fatty liver, your diabetes, your heart disease, your autoimmune disease, your thyroid problem, it all has to do with chronic inflammation, okay? So that's your number one job. Number one, you've got to get rid of your chronic inflammation. So we need to know why you have chronic inflammation, right? If we're going to get rid of it, we need to know why. And y'all do me a favor, make sure that your mics are muted so we don't hear background music. Music. Well, that would be kind of nice. We could have some background music, but background noise we don't want. So make sure that y'all make sure you mute yourself. And then I'm going to give you a chance to come on and ask questions in just a little bit, I promise, because I want to talk to each of you. Okay. Yeah. And unless you've been living under a rock, you have probably heard this already, that it's inflammation. I got to get this down. Boink, boink, boink. Hold on just a second. I got to do some tech. There you go. It's inflammation. Okay, Dr. Oz talks about it. Oprah talks about it. All the top doctors from Harvard and MIT and everybody, okay, everybody's talked about it. So, this is no great revelation that I've given to you today, but I'm going to go deeper for you, okay? We know that functional medicine works, okay? We have paper after paper after paper. This is one in JAMA, 7,200 people. We know that when you're working at the root cause level, that people get better. I mean, duh. Do we really have to have a scientific paper to know that if you get rid of your root cause, you are going to feel better? I mean, hello, that's just logic, right? But here's the big problem that everybody goes, well, how come my doctor doesn't tell me about this? That's my doctor's job to know this stuff, right? Because they're 17 years behind the times. They're 17 years behind the science, you guys. And this is just one study that proved that, okay? I mean, the studies even say that conventional medicine is 17 years behind the science on average, right? And so that's why you need to work with someone who understands the science and who can help you at the root cause level. Because let's face it, doctors don't work at the root cause level most of the time, unless, okay, it's something like a strep throat or something, or, you know, some serious bug that you go to the hospital and they find the bug and then they kill the bug and then boom, root cause, you're better. Okay, that's great. But when it comes to chronic illness, many people have a lot of bugs like that. Many people have toxins of all different kinds, and the doctors never work at the root cause level for you. Okay, if you have an autoimmune disease, it's very rare that your rheumatologist is going to work at the root cause level for you. Okay, and that's why you need to work with someone who understands the latest science and who can help you do that work. You don't have to fire your doctor. You just need to add a scientist and a medical detective to your healthcare team. And that's what we're here to do for you. Okay. So another paper, linking the gut microbiome to health and disease. I think this is kind of old news. Also knowing that when there's leaky gut, there's also leaky brain. And guess what? If you don't feel good, Harvard Medical Center, Alessio Fasano, back in 2007, basically proved it to the entire world that if you don't feel good, whatever your symptom is, doesn't matter, mental health, physical health, whatever, you don't feel good, you do have leaky gut at some level. You do. So don't wonder, do I have leaky gut? Just ask yourself, do I not feel good? Yeah, I don't feel good. Well, therefore, I have leaky gut. It's a proven fact. Okay. And guess what? If you have leaky gut, you need to fix it. Because if you have leaky breath, that's so funny. Did you hear what I just said? Yeah, some people have leaky gut and they have leaky butt. But if you have leaky gut, you also have leaky brain. Okay. And this is why people who have chronic symptoms also have brain fog. You've got that cognitive stuff and you can't find words and you're, right? They go together and the science is there, you guys. Okay. It's proven. And I know this slide is kind of busy and hard to read, but basically what it's saying is that gut health is directly related in both human and animal studies to severe neurologic diseases, like we were just talking about with this sweet lady earlier with MS, okay? That we know that if you have neurological symptoms, okay, it's definitely related back to the gut. But not only neurological symptoms, okay? Pretty much all symptoms are related back to the gut, okay? And, people think that, this whole gluten sensitivity thing is a fad. No, it's not. I can show you thousands of papers like this one. If you have chronic inflammation, please get off the gluten. I know it sucks. I know nobody wants to do it, but you got to get off of that, okay? Because just my thumbnail size piece of gluten, that's not even a bite of a cookie, okay? That's not even a full-fledged bite. That small amount of gluten in your body will create immunological inflammatory antibodies throughout your whole body and your brain, and they will last about 3 or 4 months for that one bite. Okay, that's the science. So that means that the work that you're going to be doing here with us, if you choose to come work with us, it means you're going to have to wrap your brain around the fact that there are certain foods that you need to stop eating. And you need to learn how to replace those foods with other foods that you are going to love. Okay, sorry, just a minute. This is Steve. Steve is always in the way when we work together, just so you know. Everybody say hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Steve. And
Steve.
Always in the way while we're working and getting hair everywhere. All right. Okay. The next thing that I want to teach you before we get really deep into those specific root causes, okay, and I am getting there, okay, is I want to talk to you about your genes. Because, okay, look, I talk to people every day, all day long about their health. most people believe that, well, if my genes are a little screwy and my mom had thyroid disease, therefore I'm going to have thyroid disease, right? I mean, people say it to me all the time. Well, this is just genetic. There's not much I can do about it. My mom had it too, or my dad had it too, or everybody in my family has autoimmune disease. So therefore I'm going to have it too. It's just the luck of the draw. There's nothing I can do about it. Bull. Hear me loud and clear. Bull. That's a lack of knowledge right there. Because in 2002, way back 21 years ago, we learned the truth about our genes, that our genes express differently from moment to moment, depending on your environmental factors. And guess what those environmental factors are? Your food, your thoughts, your level of stress, different invisible infections in your body, different toxins in your body, right? And so even if you have some really bad gene, like the ApoE44, which is like the worst, it's like what everybody goes, oh no, I never want to learn if I have the ApoE, because if I have the ApoE, oh no, that means I'm going to have early onset Alzheimer's. It's a done deal. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm screwed. So therefore I don't want to know. Dang, guys, that's so not true. Is so not true. That is not the science. And so you got to stop believing that crap, because that's old school craziness, man. That comes out of the 1950s. That does not come out of the new science. The new science is very clear. Even if you've got really bad genes, you can mitigate their effects. Okay? You just have to learn that you have them. That's very, very important. Learn that you have them, and then you've got to do some extra work, okay? Like, let me give you a really good example. I use this example all the time, so it kind of gets old, but it's such a good example. I myself have a gene that makes it so that I don't absorb and I don't utilize vitamin D properly. Many of you have that gene, and that's one reason why you're sick, is because you have that gene and you don't know it. And so you don't know how to fix it. You don't know that you need to do extra and above to fix that problem. You've never known it. And so you walk around with chronically low vitamin D. Well, vitamin D is a hormone that every cell in your body needs in order to function properly. So if you're this, how do you think you're going to be able to have really good cellular function? Right? And you guys, do me a favor, please make sure that you're all muted so there's no noise coming through the background. Thank you so much. So does that make sense to you guys? So what do I have to do in the real world, knowing that I have a gene that makes it so that it's harder for me to utilize vitamin D? What do I have to do? I have to make sure I get my sunlight. Number one, I have to do specific lifestyle practices. Got to get my sunlight. Right? And I also need to make sure that I not only take extra vitamin D, K2, and magnesium and other minerals that help the vitamin D to get inside the cell. Okay. And then I have to, about every 3 or 4 months, I need to spend $20 on a test that tells me where's my vitamin D level. Okay. Now, would any of you be willing to do that to help yourself to feel better? Pretty easy, right? Not a hard ask. But there might be 10 or 15 things. If you're really sick, there might be 20 different things that you need to work on, and you need to get these things into your lifestyle in order to help your body to be fully optimized. So does that make sense to you guys, that you can actually fix these genetic things that are wrong with you? Does that make sense? Yeah. It's not that hard. It's really not. It takes doing a good genetics test, having a scientist analyze it for you, or a geneticist, someone who knows what they're doing. Most doctors don't, okay? and then doing the work every day. So for the rest of my life, that's how I have to take care of that particular gene. And now that I do that, my vitamin D level stays at a perfect level and I feel a lot better. Okay. Did you know that if you don't have enough vitamin D, you will automatically have leaky gut? The two go absolutely together. So you have to fix your vitamin D problem if you want to fix your leaky gut problem and you want to fix your leaky brain problem. Important. Okay. So now I'm going to get to the deep meat. I'm going to start talking about exactly what all those different root causes are. I just kind of, gave you a hint about one of them at the genetic level. Okay. But we've made it really, really easy. We've boiled it down, and you will find that when we teach here in our classes as well, that we boil it down and make it really easy for you to understand. Okay. If you want to get rid of your chronic inflammation, which is the only way you're going to get well, you have to look at your toxicities. You have to look at your cellular deficiencies. That means the things that your cells are missing. Okay, if they're missing things, they're not going to work right. Right. And if you're overloaded with toxins, you're not going to feel good. Right. I mean, this is not rocket science here. Okay. And then you do have to work on your stress too. Okay. Because it's pretty important. Stress is a factor in inflammation. We know that if you get stressed out, you'll get worse. If you lower your stress, you'll get a little better. Right. It's not the only thing. So please don't ever let a doctor or a medical professional say to you, and man, I can't tell you how many hundreds of people who have come to me and they've said, well, my doctor thinks it's just stress. Or, my family thinks it's just all in my head. Well, please do not buy that. Just like this. Okay. No, that is not a scientific fact. It is just not. Okay. Stress, yes, it does cause inflammation. Is it a factor in your illness? Yes, it is. Okay. Is it the whole reason why you're sick? No way. That's just not scientifically true. Okay. So don't let anybody give you that bull. It's just not a fact. Okay. Now, this is where I'm going to get deep for you. Okay. And we've put it onto a slide and made it really pretty like this. And we call it the genius disease model. And that's not actually my genius disease model. This comes from the top doctors in precision root cause science. So people like Dr. Isaac Jones, Josh Axe, Daniel Pompa, some of the great scientists out there, people from Cellcore, people from these top people like Dr. Mark Hyman, the godfather of functional medicine, Dr. Jeffrey Bland, and I could go on and on. Dale Bredesen, who is reversing Alzheimer's right now, you guys, who is reversing Alzheimer's right now. This is what is possible. And this is what we know scientifically. So if you guys want to take a picture of this, I'm also going to send you something with this in it afterwards too. But feel free to, take a screenshot of this. And I want you to print it out and put it on your refrigerator or put it on your bathroom mirror so you understand, hey, if I'm going to get well, I need to fix these things. Okay. So let me say that again. If you're going to get well, you must fix these things on this slide. There is no other way to get well, you guys. There isn't any other scientifically known way to get better. You either have to do this work or you're going to stay sick and probably get worse. That is a fact. And I'm just giving it to you straight, the God's honest truth. This is what you have to work on in order to get better. And there really isn't any other known way to do it. Okay. But the good news is that if you're willing to work on these things, you will get better. I mean, I always make this joke. The only way that you won't get better is if you're working on these things and you step outside and you get hit by a truck, okay, well, time to go meet Jesus, and you don't have to worry about any of this anymore, right? So yeah, good for you, okay? Or the other is if you're working on this stuff and you decide, forget this. I would just rather eat pizza, drink beer, take my medicine and just die of whatever I die of because I'm going to go out happy. I'm going to eat whatever I want. I'm going to go out happy. You have that attitude? You're just going to be sick, and you're going to cause yourself and you're going to cause your family and all the people who love you a lot of hell if you have that attitude. So if you are sitting here and you're still listening to me and you haven't gotten mad at me for saying that a couple of times yet, just hear that out loud. You don't want to put your family through that kind of suffering because you're not willing to be responsible for your own health. Ooh. Did she just say that? Uh-huh, I did. This is what's called being responsible. Working at this level right here is what's called being responsible and being a good steward of the body that God gave you to live on this earth in, right? And this is the science. It's what we know. It's the best that we know so far. And so guess what? You have a decision to make. You have to decide, are you going to work at this level? Are you going to actually do what it takes to get well? Or are you going to fluff everything that I've said and just go on eating your ice cream? Right? And so now that I've said it, it's going to be kind of hard for you to forget it. And it's probably going to ring in your head. And actually, I'll just say a prayer right now. Jesus, just, don't let people forget this. Right? Because this is what you got to do to be well. And when I talk about stuff like this, I have to go a little spiritual on you. And when you work with me here, I always go spiritual anyway, because God did not save my life for me to just be wimpy with you. Okay. God saved my life for the purpose because he knew that I had a big mouth. He knew that I was bold, and he knew that I would tell it like it is. Okay. And that's exactly what I'm doing with you now. And I hope that you respect that. I hope you appreciate it. And this is what is going to boil down to us doing some really good work together, because I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm going to love you, and I'm going to tell you straight when you need to be told straight. If we're working together for 3 months and you're still coming back to me and telling me, well, Dory, I'm still driving through Jack in the Box regularly because, darn it, it's just so much easier. If you're doing that, I'm going to all right, well, how much do you really want to get well? Because you cannot get well that way. You're going to have to change the way you think about food in society in order to get well. All right. Okay. And doing it from the spiritual perspective of why are we here, you guys? Why are we here? We're here for a purpose. And the purpose is to love and help others, right? Right? To love our families, to love other people, to help other people, to be good members of society, to love God, to do God's work. Okay. This is why we're here. We're not here just to whatever, make money or run a business or or just have babies or just have a marriage. Okay. No, it's much, much bigger than that. And we can't do any of that awesome work. We can't be everything that we want to be in this world if we don't get serious about our health, right? And this is what it takes right here. Okay. We got to do this. And so what is this? What is this? The big part of this is your toxins. We know that if you want to get well, you've got to get rid of your toxins, and you don't have to get rid of them 100%. I still have some in my body. I just significantly reduced them. Okay. So they don't affect me the way they were. Okay. My body can handle a low amount of toxins. My body cannot handle the amount of toxins that I was carrying around all those years. And that's why I got so sick. Okay. And let's look at those toxins. They are things like all of the living toxins, the things like mold and mold mycotoxins, and oh, everybody's got parasites. Did you guys know that the CDC just came out with a white paper last year that said, oops, gee, everybody has parasites. It's kind of disgusting, but we all do. And they are overgrown in more than 80% of people. Okay. And what do parasites do? They grab your nutrients. They create toxins. They get into your brain. It's disgusting and it's a little scary, and we don't want that, right? And the reason why it's happening is because we're all eating a bunch of crap. And so it allows parasites to come in and then to overgrow because we don't know how to take good care of our gut health. Okay, so we got them. You need to get rid of them. Okay, it's a major part of the work that you have to do. You need to balance the bugs in your body and get rid of the bad ones. Okay, and there's other things like virus and bacteria that can lay dormant in your body, and they're actually creating low levels of inflammation chronically. And we see this all the time. Okay, you guys, all the time. It's a major source of a root cause of inflammation. Okay. Also, we got to look for those chemicals. Okay, now most people think heavy metals because it's in the news and everybody's talking about it. Okay, but it's way more than heavy metals. Okay, it's all of those environmental contaminants. It's the glyphosate and the herbicides and the fungicides and all the sides and the right. And if you're overloaded with that kind of stuff, there are ways to move it out of your body safely and effectively. And no, it's not just a detox that you find on the internet. And please, 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 I know I've had people do this. They hear this talk or they hear a talk like this. They know they need to remove toxins. So they go find whatever that detox thing is for 3 weeks on the internet. Okay. And they make themselves sick as a dog. And the reason why is because you're not doing all the work to open up your detox pathways to make sure that you can release all those toxins. And it just causes a full Herxheimer reaction. It just makes people sick. And it actually causes extra tissue damage, extra cellular damage. And you do not want to do that. Okay, so if you are going to do some detox work, please do it with a professional who knows how to help you do it right. And so you don't cause your body more damage. Okay, it's super important. And a lot of people do this. And why? Because, just like the pharmaceutical companies want to make a lot of money, the supplement companies want to make a lot of money too. Okay, and they're out to just give you some great marketing and make you buy something, even though it might not be what's best for you. But when you work with a professional, we know how to help you properly. Okay, we know how to monitor these things and help you do them right, so you're not causing extra damage. And that is very, very, very important. Okay. There's also, like, what we're learning, there's a lot of science coming out about the electromagnetic radiation that we're all exposed to on our cell phones and things like that. And yes, there are things that you can do to mitigate that. And they're just lifestyle practices. They're super easy to do. So these are easy. These are harder. And we need to find these with some good testing and then help you to get rid of them. The next big area of root causes are your cellular deficiencies. Okay, we absolutely need to find what your cells are missing. Okay, and we need to give those things back to your cells. And that can be done in multiple ways. It can be done through food. It can be done through lifestyle practices like sleeping properly and things like that. It can be done through supplementation, right? And it all works. It all works. But you need to work specifically. Most people will go to like Costco or whatever, and they'll think, well, I know I need magnesium because everybody needs magnesium. And everybody says I should be taking fish oil. So I guess I'll do that. But they're actually taking products that are putting more toxins into their body because these are cheap products that are probably made in China. That okay, don't buy your supplements from Costco, please. Please stop doing that. Don't buy nature-made supplements from your CVS and those cheap brands. Okay, you're doing yourself more harm than you are good. You just don't know it because you're not a scientist and you're not into all this, okay? But I'm telling you, you are doing your body more harm when you're spending money on those things and they're not really effective. They're loaded with some extra toxins and junk that your body doesn't need. And right, if you just spend like an extra $5 or $10 on the right supplement that you found out through testing your body actually needs, okay, that's worth it. You want to spend 30 bucks on that? Yes, that's worth it. Okay. But it's not worth it to spend $15 at Costco for something that's probably going to make you worse. Okay. But, oh, excuse me. But we've got to find those deficiencies. Okay. If we don't find the deficiencies, then your cells will not have what they need. And guess what most people do when they do those, excuse me, when they do those detoxes on the internet, they don't even know what their cellular deficiencies are. They've never had the testing done. They have no clue, yet they're expecting their body to detox. Oh boy. And then they wonder why they get so sick or why it doesn't work that great. Okay. Because your cells don't have what they need in order to do the job, but yet you're still expecting your cells to do the job, right? So I hope that this makes sense to you. This is not rocket science, okay? Your cells need everything they need so that you can feel great every day. If your cells don't have everything they need, you're not going to feel great. You're going to feel crappy, okay? But teaching you with some really good testing what your cells are missing and then working on those things very specifically, now that is a smart move. Okay. And that's what everyone should be doing for their health, not just people who are starting to feel chronically ill. Okay. Everyone should be doing this. Okay. Everyone should know their toxin testing and their nutritional testing and their deficiency testing, their inflammatory testing. Everybody should do this like once a year. And then we would all be a lot healthier. And then, okay, are you ready? I'm going to say it. If everybody knew this, we would have never had a problem with COVID. And YouTube's probably going to kick me off, but you know, they haven't yet. Maybe because I talk too much and they don't catch it. But the truth is, that's the truth. You know that COVID hits people who are obese, who have diabetes. They get it worse, right? Why do you think that is? Okay. If everybody was being, more responsible for their health and doing what we need to do to keep our toxins low, to give our cells everything that they need, and we're managing our stress, then we probably would have never had a problem with COVID. We would never have a problem with things like chronic Lyme disease or chronic EBV that we see today. We wouldn't have an overgrowth of parasites. We wouldn't, because our immune systems would be strong and they would be protecting us like they're supposed to. But right now you guys know that I'm an immunotoxicologist. Okay, this is what I do for a living. And that's the study of toxins on the immune system. And literally, we know that when the immune system is overloaded, when the immune system is trying to fight this bug over here and this deficiency, it doesn't have what it needs over there. And then there's this other bug over here. And then there's this other deficiency over here. And the immune system is fighting on all these different battles. How effective do you think your immune system can be then when it gets exposed to something like COVID? It's just one more battle. It doesn't have everything it needs, right? Right? I hope this makes sense to you, because this is just good science, right? Right? Yeah. So I'm going to pass things up because I already talked about that. Okay. And so I always, before, when it comes to almost the end of the talk, I want to tell you this story that it doesn't come from me. It comes from Dr. Mark Hyman. And of course, you probably already know him. He's one of the top doctors in the precision root cause space. I wouldn't be alive today without his work, along with the godfather of functional medicine, Jeffrey Bland, major genius in our world today. I would be dead, literally. I know I would. That's not a lie. That's not an exaggeration. I know that I would not be alive today without their work. And so this is Dr. Mark Hyman's funny story. He's a geek too. He tells a lot of really funny stories, and he's kind of dorky, and I just really like get along with him very well. And this is the story. Okay, say that you were walking along and there was a construction site, and you sat down, and there was a whole bunch of tacks, and you sat down on those tacks, and you got 3 of them stuck in your booty. Okay, now let's just, for the sake of argument, let's call them what we know the root causes are, and that's toxins, cellular deficiencies, and your stresses and traumas. Okay, and say you went to a really awesome chiropractor. Okay, and he's up on functional medicine. He knows that you need to do all this healthy stuff, and you need to work on your gut, and you need to do a little detoxing and whatever. Okay, and he gets you on a really good diet. Okay, and maybe he just does a little bit of testing, and maybe he pulls that cellular deficiencies one out of your booty. And because he's got you on a great diet, he's totally changed you up, and you're listening and you're following it, and you're not driving through Wendy's anymore, and right? If you pull one tack out, just because you changed your diet, is your butt still going to hurt with 2 more tacks stuck in it? Yeah, it sure is, right? Because you haven't worked on the level of your toxins yet. Most people don't work on their stress like they should. Most people think, yeah, everybody's got stress, right? Okay, no. Okay, you got to work at it. You do. You got to practice those mindset practices that align you up with a solid foundation, right? And you got to get those toxins out of your body. You can't stay well with all those toxins, just globulating all your cells. You got all these little pieces of toxins blocking the cellular receptors, so that therefore you can't even get good nutrition into the cell to begin with, right? And so this is why when people come to me, and I hear it every day, I hear it all day, okay? And people are going, yeah, but I did work with this guy, and he was a really good functional doctor, and I did change my diet, but I'm still not well. And so therefore I probably am incurable. I probably can't get well. I'm probably doomed to be sick forever. And I just look at him and I pull out this slide and I just go, that's not the truth. Number one, your chiropractor or your functional doctor, maybe he did a good test to find all your cellular deficiencies. And maybe he put you on a good diet for 6 months, but did you retest to see if all those cellular deficiencies were fixed? Most of the time, no, they don't, because people don't want to pay for the testing, okay? And so they don't really even know if all those cellular deficiencies were fixed, but they really only worked in that area, right? Do you guys know that it takes an average of about 2 years to get people completely to a point where they feel like they're 80, 90% better? An average of 2 years. But yet people will go to a chiropractor, work for 3 months, and then throw their hands up in the air and go, well, but that didn't work, so therefore I'm screwed. It's not the truth, right? But yet people believe this stuff, right? But it's not a scientifically wise thing to think, because it literally does take an average of 2 years to get people optimally healthy. And that doesn't mean that it's going to take 2 years before you feel better. You're going to feel better in bits and pieces along the way. You're going to get a little bit better, right? You're going to do that. Okay. But to get really well to where you feel like, okay, I fixed my problems, I've gotten rid of most of my root causes, most of my cells, I started off with almost no B6, and now my B6 is at a perfect level, right? And I really have worked on my stress. I exercise and I take care of things. You know, I might do a sauna, I might take baths more often, I might do things. I'm working on my stress, right? 2 years, guys, 2 years on average to do that work. And so you need to be set up with very realistic expectations, because typically you walk into your chiropractor's office and he starts working with you, and he might only charge you $100 a pop when you're walking in. But typically they don't set people up with those very realistic expectations. And hey, this is going to take work. And yes, you really do have to do it all. You can't just do the diet. Okay. You have to work on the toxins. You have to work on the diet. You have to work on the deficiencies. You have to work on the stress. And yes, it's going to take time. Right? It just is. I wish it was easier. Right? Okay. So what we have to do to get you well is, again, we have to remove the toxins. I know I'm repeating myself, but I want you guys to all to understand this. You have to remove the toxins. You have to give your cells back what they're missing so they can do their job. And you have to maximize your positive psychology. Okay? This is what the science says. It's the only way we know to help you get better. Okay, and it's the responsible way. It's the right way. It's the way medicine was supposed to be in the first place, right? But it kind of got corrupted. And so how do we do it here? We do it by starting with your testing. Now, I know that a lot of chiropractors, naturopaths, whatever, they will start off by giving you a nice protocol for your gut, and they will maybe do a little bit of detoxing work, maybe help you with a little bit of liver and kidney support and things like that, which is all good. It's all great. Okay, but they're not working at the level of specifics and precision. Okay, and that's what true root cause precision science does for you. You do your testing first. You know exactly where you need to work, and then you get busy doing the work. Okay, but what's most important, okay, is that, because people do this and then they slack and then they get sick again. Okay. And that's not good. We need to actually teach you, give you like this, mini master's degree in your own health. We need to teach you how to be the CEO of your own health. Teach you what the tests mean, why your symptoms are doing what they're doing, right? If your symptoms are popping up, why is that happening? So that you know how to fix it, so it doesn't scare you anymore. So that you can actually take control and stop being the victim of your health. These things are not happening to you out of the blue for no reason. Okay? They're happening to you for very specific reasons that you have control over. You just don't know that you have that control. Okay? So that's what we do here. Is we give you back your control. We give you your health freedom by teaching you how to do it and how to take better care of yourself. And so then what our clients do is they become little evangelists, right? And then, they start helping their kids and helping their parents and helping their friends, right? We've even had several people come through our program and go on to have full-fledged careers as health coaches and start whole new businesses because of the information that they learned here. They helped themselves to heal, and then they went out and said, hey, I can do this too. I can teach people how to do this. And they went out and they did it. And I'm right there with them, supporting them. They're not in competition with me. Are you kidding me? This is our mission, is to get this information out to the world. So the more people who are working the way we're supposed to, the more people that are getting better, then we are accomplishing that mission. So we got to teach you how to do this yourself, right? And then maybe you only need me once a year, just to do some extra testing, right? And see where you're at. And then you go, fly on your own. And so right now, you're in a place where you have no clue why you're sick. You have no clue what your root causes are. You might have a diagnosis, you might not, but a diagnosis is completely different from a root cause. A diagnosis is just a name. That's all it is. It's not telling you anything about why it's happening most of the time. Okay, not always. Okay, most of the time. Okay. But if you just do some good testing, now, you know, she got a smile on her face, right? Because now you know why. And now you can get busy very specifically, very precisely. Okay. And so I got to tell you about Scott. I always tell everybody about Scott. I love Scott. I have so many awesome clients. I could really tell you guys about, you know, so many great testimonials, so many people who just get awesome results, right? But I love telling you about Scott because his story is so dramatic. He literally came to us from a video just like this. We don't believe in coincidences. We believe that God is in control of every tiny little second of our lives. And so if you're sitting here in front of me, there's a reason for it, and God ordained it, and he knows it's happening, right? And so that happened with Scott one day. He just happened to come to I was a guest on another person's podcast, and he happened to be there that day. And literally, this man, he really, like, he put me into tears. The level of his fear and anxiety was over the top. And he started describing himself as this man's man, okay? You know, mid to late 30s, man's man. He can handle anything. He used to be a stunt artist in Hollywood, okay? Tough guy, all right? And then all of a sudden, he got very, very ill. And so he went from doctor to doctor to doctor and specialist. And what they finally gave him a diagnosis as is this terrible autoimmune disease called Wagner's disease, which it kills people in like 2 years. Okay. And so the guy falls out. He's just, now he's totally anxiety ridden. He's scared to death. He's going to die. This is terrible. His whole life has fallen apart. Okay. And he just happens to come across this video of mine. And so he said, well, what the hell? What have I got to lose? But of course, everything that I'm saying rings true, right? And so he's like, yeah, okay, well, if it can work, of course, I have to try this, right? And so that's what he did. And so within the first like 3 or 4 weeks of working together, we found most of his root causes, and he had a major one. He had a very large dose of mercury in his brain. Okay. And so that is a common thing, you guys, although his was pretty extreme. His was really bad. It was one of the highest doses of mercury I've ever seen. And I was like, whoa, that's a lot. But I told him, I said, okay, we're just going to start working on the root causes. That's all I can promise you. We're just going to work on the root causes because that's all science has, and we know that it works. So we're just going to do the very best that we can. When we start working on getting that mercury out, he also had a number of other cellular deficiencies, of course, because he had such high mercury. And there was a couple of other things going on in his gut and whatever. Okay, so we just got busy, started working. Well, about month 4 or 5 or so, he starts feeling better. And it was a little bit of a rocky ride before that. I'm not going to lie. There was, some detox and it was, it was a little hard for him because his mercury level was so high. But we kept him as comfortable as possible, and he got through it. And he gets to like month 4 or 5, and he starts telling me, there's something different. I am having a little more energy. I am feeling a little bit better. Maybe this is working. I'm like, yeah, it's going to work. We just keep doing it. Okay. We just don't give up. We just keep working at this. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's been over 2 years now. He left the program about, I want to say like 4 months ago, because he was all better, because he doesn't need us anymore. Went back to the doctor, and they looked at his stuff, and they're like, no, you don't have Wagner's disease, and all your inflammation has come down, and you're like this amazing, strong person, and all of your biomarkers have changed now. Right. And I'm not saying that he was absolutely perfect, but I am saying that it was a dramatic difference. Right. And this is what is possible. This is the same thing that happened to me. It's the same thing that happens to a lot of our clients if they're willing to do the work. And I will tell you something really important about Scott. He was militant about doing the work. I mean, he was kicking butt and taking names. If I told him to do something, man, he was on it. And he didn't fart around at all. And that's why he got such amazing results, even though his mercury was higher than any I've ever seen, because he was really willing to just throw his whole self in and just do the work, right? So there you go. He got the results. And so now he used to be a professional surfer. He is back to surfing again. He walks his dog like some ungodly amount of 10 miles a day. And he's an amazing guy. He's back to being, this big, strong guy without the health issues. And really what he is now, the way he talks now, is he says he is better now than he's ever felt in his life. And that's because we fixed a lot of those past things, right? As well as the mercury. So just know that people are doing this. I did it, Scott did it, all of our clients are doing it. There are literally hundreds of thousands of people all over the world that are working at the root cause level and getting their health back and getting healthier than they've ever been. And so I know you can do this too. You really can transform your life, but you got to work at that cellular level and the biochemical level, the metabolic level, the genetic level, the hormonal level, all these levels, right? And then you really can feel better. You truly can get rid of a lot of stuff and change your life. So before I give you, I know I want to give you some free stuff because we're at the end now. And thank you for hanging on. Thank you for listening. I know I talk a lot. It's just the way I am. Sorry. But I just have so much information to give you. And it's just so important. And if I've got you here, man, I just want to hang on to you as long as I can and just teach and teach and teach. But let's start with giving you something that you can do every single day, that every single human should be doing every single day. So if you're not doing this every day, you need to start doing it. It's super important for your immune system. And especially now when we're all worried about the weird COVID stuff, you got to take care of your immune system. And one of the most important things that you can do is get plenty of water. I'm not talking about overloading yourself with water. I'm talking about plenty of water. So first thing in the morning when you get up, I want you to go and get, like I use these. Yeah. And fill it up, put a little lemon in it. If you have gallbladder issues, I want you to do like a whole lemon squeezed in that thing. And if you have gallbladder issues, you're going to do that 4 times a day. But you want to at least start with this in the morning if you don't have gallbladder issues. And you can see I got my lemon in there, kind of put it in there and leave it in there all day long. And then I just keep filling up my water. But you want to do at least 24 ounces of water first thing in the morning. Okay. Now I know that's simple. I know that's, not like, major. But you come work with us and we do your testing and we find all your root causes. Oh boy. You're going to be doing a lot more than just drinking your water in the morning. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. So I always tell people about my new book. The publisher has actually changed the cover, and who knows, they might change it again too. But if you want to take a picture of this, we're taking advance orders. We're hoping that the publisher is going to have it out by Christmas or at the latest springtime of next year. But you can also, when you take a picture of this, you can see the first chapter, and it's pretty cool. I hope you guys will give it a read, because I spent a lot of time working on this, and it is my first book, so it's pretty exciting. So I hope that everybody will at least get the free, first chapter and read that. And then I also hope that you'll advance order the book and maybe, like pass it out to people and right? Share the mission that way. That's really why it was written. And now I want to preface this next part by telling you that I think you could probably tell that I am not a salesperson. I am a scientist, and I'm not really good at sales. Okay, but what I do have for you is a stupid no-brainer deal that you can actually start working with me and my team right away. And so I'm going to put that out into the air for you. What this is this is your root cause package. Okay. And what we're going to do for you is we're going to do a full root cause evaluation. We're going to uncover those blind spots that you probably don't even know about. And a lot of this work, even before the testing, can be done just by us talking to you. And we can start picking out those symptoms of specific root causes right away for you. And then we will know exactly which tests to do for you. And that will save you a lot of money. Okay. And we use a very unique root cause questionnaire. And this was designed by the top doctors and scientists in our space in order to just give us all the information that we need to help you right off the bat and make it fast and easy, right? And so we're going to give you this whole thing. And actually, I'm in the wrong, yeah, right here. So we're also going to give you, as part of this package, and pretty much everybody needs this. This is a self-help program. It's normally $597, and we're going to give it to you free as a bonus today if you want to get this root cause package. And it's called our Reverse Brain Fog, Anxiety, and Depression program. It's self-help. It includes all the protocols that you need. And of course, we're always on the back end to answer questions for you while you're doing this. Okay. All right. We're also going to give you 10% off a customized lab package if you choose to do a package. Now, people do their root cause testing in all kinds of ways. So don't feel like you have to have tons of money up front in order to do this, right? I was that person who was really broke, and I had to knit and crochet little hats and get enough money just to buy a test. And then I had to wait a few months, get some more money, buy another test. Okay. And I got well that way. Okay. And so, you can do whatever you can do. And, we're here to support you however you need to do it. Right. And then also, and make sure that you guys have your mute on, so there's no background music. I keep saying background music, background noise. And then I'm giving this to you today for free as a freebie. It's our transformation cheat sheet, but what I've actually done is I've put that transformation cheat sheet into a full training program for you. Okay, you're going to love this. Okay. There are so many good videos in there. There are page after page of things that step by step. Okay, if you want to get well, this is what you need to do. And then you need to do this. And then you need to do this. And then you need to do this. Okay. And I think you're really going to enjoy it. So I'm definitely going to give you this today for free anyway. You're just going to get it. Okay. And then we also, anyone who works with us, like I told you, we do use the doctor grade supplements, not those cheap things that you get from Costco that don't work. Okay. But then we just turn around and give you 10% off of all of it. Right. Plus these companies, we use Full Script. They have all the natural personal care products, and you can get 10% off of all that too. So you can actually save money over the grocery store. Right. And here's my promise to you. And I make this promise very sincerely. I know that if you come work for me, I am not going to leave you hanging when it comes to finding your root causes at all. Okay. If you come do a test with us, I guarantee you we will find your root causes. You will never walk away going, well, we did all that testing and everything looks normal. It doesn't happen with precision root cause testing, you guys. It never happens. These tests are very precise. We know exactly what to test for. We find your root causes, right? You're working with the experts here, okay? You're working with a scientist. We know how to find your root causes, okay? So you're not going to be left hanging like that here. That's a guarantee, okay? I also guarantee to you that we've got a lot of experience here. We also have on the back end is we have our mentorship with the HDA. And that's the Health Experts Alliance, where the top doctors and scientists live, where we all come together in meetings regularly every single week. And we talk about the latest science and we learn from each other, right? So when you're getting help from someone who's part of the HEA, you are literally getting the best help you can get, because it's not just my brain, right? It's my brain plus all the other brains that I listen to and talk to, and we teach each other every single week, right? So don't think you can just go to the local, chiropractor and get all this work done, because it just doesn't work that way, right? If you want to work with the top dogs, you're in the right place. This is what we do. And we know that we've got all the latest science for you. We've got all the best protocols. We know what works. We help people all day, every day, right? And we know we can help you, okay? I also promise you that you will never, ever be alone. That, again, if you didn't hear me say this before, I am bold about my Christianity. I am bold about loving Jesus Christ and loving you. And we are a dedicated Christian mission here. We're going to keep the prices as low as we possibly can and still do the work, right? And we are going to love you with the love of Jesus Christ and help you walk through this challenge in your life. And we are going to, if you let us, we're going to bring you to the other side. Okay. All right. So let me show you what I got. I got the root cause evaluation in this package. I got the reverse brain fog, anxiety, and depression in this package. I've got 10% off of your customized labs in a package. I've got 10% off of supplements for life. And I'm giving it all to you. It's over a $2,000 value. If you went anywhere else, even to that chiropractor, he would probably charge you more, right? And I'm going to give all that to you today for just $197. Now that's a great deal, right? So now I hate wearing the salesman hat, right? I'm a scientist, right? So I'm not going to push you on this. I'm just going to tell you that this is a steal, right? And if you want it, you can take a picture of the scan code there, and it will take you to another website that has my picture and it has everything for you that you can see that it's really me, and has another video for you there. And you can go ahead and grab that, and that will help you to start working with us and my great team here right away. And so before I let you go and before I give you your freebie, let me tell you about Pam. She's one of our awesome clients here. And she says, Dory and her program gave me answers when I was told there were none. Dory gave me hope when I was told I was hopeless. And best of all, Dory gave me support when others walked away. And so she's getting great results, and we're thrilled for her. All right. So there is the code. You guys feel free to take a picture of that. Sorry, I've got Steve in the way again. He will not leave us alone. This is just the way it is. Okay. You're going to have to work with Steve when you work with me. It's just the way it is. Yeah, so now what I would love to do is I would love to open the floor and answer questions for people, okay? And so if I can get Steve from stopping walking in front of my computer here. All right. And let me just go back. And I know that Nora was answering a lot of questions in the chat while I was talking, because it's really hard for me to actually monitor the chat while I'm flapping my gums at the same time. All right. So thank you, Nora, for doing that. But what I would love to do now, I'm going to leave this up on the screen. And I'm going to open up so I can see everybody's pictures. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and I would love to take some time to get to know you guys a little bit and answer some of your specific health questions if you would like. Just so
Wasilaro, what's her name? She is totally on board. She liked what you're saying. She wants to do that. That's what she's saying here.
Love that. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. How can I help you guys more?
Whenever you go to your doctors, you have your blood work and everything on your preventative and your annuals and your semi-annuals. And they tell you that your vitamin D, all your values are. Is there a certain number? Because there's ranges, and they say, "Oh, you're good," but is there a certain number that they should be higher? Because if you're above that, whatever that norm is. But this is my thing. I'm trying to figure out the values of your blood work.
Mm-hmm. So 2 questions that I'm hearing from you. One, you're trying to figure out your blood work, your basic blood work, that's completely different than what a root cause scientist is going to do for you, number one. Okay, just so you know. Completely different kinds of tests. Okay, because what the doctor is looking at is they're looking at a whole blood value, okay, which is what's circulating in the blood. And here's the difference. What we're looking at is several different ways. We're looking at what's circulating in the blood. We're looking at what's actually getting into your cells and what's actually being metabolized and used by the cell, which is your number one important thing anyway. Like we care a little bit about what's in the blood, but what we really care about is whether it's actually getting into the cell and doing the work that it needs to do. Okay. Right. And also we can look at not only in just, all kinds of general cells, but we can look specifically in the white blood cell. And so that's very important, especially if people are battling certain things like, certain invisible infections or Lyme disease or things like that. We want to know whether vitamin D or any of these other nutrients that you're looking at are getting into the cell and actually doing the job that they need to do. Okay. And so that's one thing. That's one part of your question. Your next answer is, what should the number be? Okay. So in the blood, what we like to see, and this is the latest scientific research on vitamin D, we want to see in a blood level vitamin D between 60 and 80 for most people. Now, if you go to your doctor and if you look on your testing, you can see very clearly that it will say, oh, the reference range. And if it's, if it's less than 30, then they're like, they don't like that. But if you're above, they're going to tell you you're perfectly normal. That is ancient, old school stuff right there. Okay. Like that's way back in the 1970s when they thought that. Okay. Nowadays, we know different. We know that your vitamin D level should be between 60 and 80. It's not a vitamin, it's a hormone, and every single cell in your body needs it. And if it's at 30, you're sick. That's just a scientific fact, right? Here's another thing that you should know about vitamin D. All those vitamins that you get, and they say, yep, they've got vitamin D, and we're at the great value. We're at a good dosage of vitamin D at 400 units, right? What does the science say? The science says that you should have a minimum of 4,000 units of vitamin D with K2 and magnesium and minerals together in order for it to work properly and in order for you to maintain a healthy vitamin D level. Now that's a lot different than what your doctor's going to tell you, right?
Right.
Right. And this is why, like I say, I don't want you to fire the doctor.
Oh, no. I completely understand where we're going with this, and I appreciate the all of this. Yes.
Yeah, but there's so many things like that. Like when, and I do this all day, every day. So when I look at a person's basic blood panel, and the doctor or the panel itself on paper, black and white, it says, nope, this person is normal. I can see the trends, right? I can see where, well, yeah, it might still fall in the normal range, but wow, it's at the very low end of normal, or it's at the very high end of normal. That's not normal, you guys. That cells telling you that there's something wrong and that you're trending in a really bad way. Just because you're still falling in normal does not mean that that's okay. And that is especially true for people who have thyroid disease. Oh, right? So many, especially women, are walking around suffering with hypothyroidism and not being diagnosed with it. Oh my gosh. And then once they do get diagnosed, because the tests that we have are antiquated, they're from the 70s and 80s. Okay. And they haven't been changed since. It's absolute insanity, you guys. It's insanity. It's not good care. It's not the way things should be, but it is that way. And so we know that when we see a person's thyroid panel, number one, we're going to ask for a lot more values. Okay. Your regular basic thyroid panel that your doctor does for you. I'm sorry, it does not give us all the scientific information that we need in order to determine exactly what's happening with your thyroid. It just doesn't. And so we will run a full thyroid panel, including the antibodies, including reverse T3, all of the different values that we need to see. And then we can tell you exactly what's happening with all these little levels, right? And we can tell whether you're actually converting the way you're supposed to, because, okay, I could get really deep in this, but you're supposed to be able to convert T4 to T3. T4 is like a storage thyroid hormone. T3 is like your gas that makes you go, okay? And conversely, reverse T3 puts on the brakes, all right? So we see people who are super, super tired, very, very fatigued, and their body is literally putting on the brakes. They literally have very high levels of reverse T3. And guess what else we see? We see very high levels of cortisol, right? Cortisol is a killer, you guys. You get really high cortisol, guess where it comes from? Stress. Okay. Yeah. And you get really high cortisol, right? You're going to start throwing off your thyroid. You're going to start telling your thyroid to put the brakes on and to make you fatigued on purpose. It's the body being smart. It's because you're overstressing yourself. You are causing too much to happen in your life, and there's too much going on around you, and you don't know how to handle it properly. So you're creating all this extra cortisol, and your body says, whoa, you're going to die if you keep trying to live up here. So your body literally, in its wisdom, puts on the brakes and tells you, slow down, stop this, go relax, right? That's why you get tired. Does that make sense? It's true. Now, most people have no clue that that's what's happening in their body. They just think, why am I so fatigued? Why am I so fatigued? Oh, it's because I have thyroid issues. No, it's not because you have thyroid issues. You have thyroid issues because you have underlying root causes and lifestyle practices that are causing disease, and you don't even know what you're doing. You don't even know. Make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Your body is smart. Your immune system is amazing. The Lord created these bodies to blow you away. Like, I don't, as a scientist, I don't understand how other scientists can see the intricacies at the cellular and biochemical level and not believe in God. I don't understand that, because it's just, it's so phenomenal. It blows your mind. And we're learning more and more all the time. And, right? And the sad thing is that like we're not raised to understand any of this. And of course, a lot of this is new, so it's kind of not our fault, especially, you know, some of us older folks. But it's right now that we have the knowledge, oh my gosh, it should be in every medical school. It should be in every single seminar that the doctor has to go through and get their extra credits for their extra credit learning that they have to do every year. It should be in every seminar. It should be in elementary schools. We should be teaching kids this, right?
Right.
It will happen though, because that's one of the arms of our mission that we're planning on doing. And I hope that by the end of next year that we will have a whole arm of our mission here that has people who directly go into elementary school classrooms and have a full program that we can teach to kids, and we can help them to learn how to take better care of themselves from the ground up, even from the genetic level up. So that's a dream of mine. Oh.
Okay.
All right. So what other questions can I answer for people today? You have any questions in the chat? Oh, Nora's helping people. Excellent. Yeah, reading some of these things in the chat. That's excellent. I love working with military vets. All right. And I will make sure that in your email, check your email. And it might have come already because I think we're running a little bit over time tonight. Yeah, I think we are. Yeah, we are. So check your email because you should have that training that I told you about, the step-by-step cellular transformation training. And that should be hitting your email. And also the information for how to get your root cause package is also going to be in your email. And so I hope you guys check it out. I hope you guys, like we've given you all the information in that cellular transformation training. And we hope that, that you will check out the information. You will watch the videos and you'll enjoy all that. There's also like, I recommend a book called Life Force by Tony Robbins, and you'll see that in your training as well. And so, you know, all of this is meant to teach you that that what I'm telling you today is real. It's true. It's not snake oil. We're not just trying to make money. It's just, this is a fact. This is the real science, and it's our mission to help you, right? And so when you go through that training, it's just going to really show you all the different people that are doing this kind of work. And it's going to give you a lot of great testimonials of people, not just my clients, but clients.
Okay, I have an announcement. Zach is here. He is so excited. He went and just got the package, RC package right now.
Nice.
Great job, Zach. You will be so happy you've taken this action. You will see. Yeah.
We'll look forward to meeting you for sure. All right. More questions, anybody? I can probably stay for like another 5 or 10 minutes if we get rocking and rolling on another good question. I need to, like, when people get real quiet like this, I need to have like the Jeopardy music in the background. Dun, 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 dun. My daughter's singing it behind me too now. There, I just gave you guys a little bit of my geekiness. All right. Okay. Well, if there aren't any more questions, I guess I'll let everyone go. I know it's getting late on the East Coast. And actually, my daughter's in the kitchen cooking dinner for me right now, and it smells really wonderful. I smell lots of garlic. I smell fish.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Smells wonderful. So, and I've worked for a long, hard day today helping people, and I'm ready to go eat. So, I'm going to give you guys one more chance to ask a question, and then I will close this up. But I just want to make sure that just in case people are shy. And are there any other questions within the chat that I can answer for people, Nor?
They might have privately sent you a question, but if you on chat, I can't see that.
Okay. All right. I'm looking
let's see
through.
that.
I'm looking through. Okay, someone asked elimination food in your program. And I think what you mean by that is, do you have to eliminate food when you're in our program? Okay, big fat yes. Yes, you do. There are many, many foods that people eat every single day. Most of the stuff in your grocery store is inflammatory. And what's our number one goal if we want to get healthy? It's getting rid of inflammation. That's right. That's right. And so if you're going to keep eating all that junk, you're going to stay sick. And that's the truth. And I can't sugarcoat it for you. I can't make it any easier for you. I can just tell you that we have to learn.
They should let you see. I think she.
There we go. I think we need to mute there a couple of things there. There we go. Yeah, I can only tell you that as a person who used to be a huge junk food junkie, although I would drink my green drink at the same time and think that I was doing a good job. I was fooling myself. I was totally fooling myself because scientifically my body was a wreck. Okay. I had the hardest time. You know, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Full transparency here. It took me about 8 months of my functional doctor telling me, Dory, what's wrong with you? I have told you to stop eating that. Why are you still eating that? And I loved her, man. She was so straight up with me. She's just like, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing? You keep coming back and seeing me, but you're not doing what I'm telling you to do. And I was like, ouch. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm not, because I want to eat my M&Ms. And it took me about 8 months to get there. And what finally tipped me over is she showed me my genetic results. And it had taken me a little time to do that test because I didn't have the money, right? So we're in about month 8, and she gives me my genetic results. And right there, staring me right in the face, are 2 genes that lead to celiac disease. And I had them. And so then, we do the endoscopy, and the endoscopy says, oh, your little villi all throughout your gut, they're all chopped down, like somebody just came and mowed your carpet. Okay. So I had the hallmarks of celiac disease. I had the genetics for celiac disease, yet what was my favorite food that I couldn't get enough of? I used to go down to this corner market and get these big, like sourdough bread things. And I would literally eat about 6 pieces of that a day. And they were huge. Okay. Big old huge pieces of toast. It was my favorite food. It's actually making my mouth water right now just thinking about it. Don't do it. I don't know if you could hear that. That's my daughter out there. Don't do it. This is my favorite food, you guys. It's my favorite treat. This is my mainstay. This is what I ate every single day. I couldn't live without it, okay? I could not live without my bread and my toast with my jelly and my butter and okay? And when I saw that genetics test, I said, oh my gosh. And I came home. Now I tell this story in transparency. It's a little embarrassing, but I tell it anyway. Remember that I was very sick and I was a hormonal mess and whatever. Okay. But I literally came home and had just a pissy fit in my kitchen. And I was slamming my fist down on the counter and I'm screaming and I'm yelling and I'm like, how come I have to be sick and I can't eat my bread anymore? And I was losing it. And this is a true story. My family will tell you that they just stood there and looked at me like, uh-oh, like, okay, she's finally lost it. And then I calmed down and then I went, okay, what's my choice? Do I want to remain sick? I've got this doctor telling me this is what I have to do. I've got these test results staring me in the face. Do I want to remain sick or do I want to get better? And guess what my answer was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get better. I want to get better. I want to get better more than anything in this world. I want to get better. And if that means I have to give up that bread that I love so much, then that's what it means. And so what I did is I gave up the bread, I gave up the donuts, I gave up the pasta, I gave up all of that. Within about 3 weeks, I started seeing a dramatic difference in my health. It was that dramatic. And that wasn't my only root cause, but it was a big one. And I had to tackle it. I did. I had to tackle it. And, you know, it was not easy. It was not. That's the truth. But it had to be done. Okay. And now that it's done and I never eat gluten anymore, I had my health back. I made it. Okay. And it was one step of the puzzle piece to get me well. And I had to do it. Right. And now before you start thinking that, well, maybe I'm not celiac, so therefore I don't have to give up gluten. Okay. There are various degrees of genetic problems that cause gluten sensitivity. You don't have to be full-blown celiac. Mm-hmm. I wasn't diagnosed as full-blown celiac either, right? And so what we do know about gluten and certain inflammatory foods is that, yes, you must give them up, especially while you're healing. Now, when you get your inflammation nice and low again, and you've removed a lot of those excess root causes and the toxins, and you fix the cellular deficiencies, okay, then you can start trying to add back in some other foods. And some people are able to add back in gluten just fine, okay? Some people can add back in dairy just fine. Some people, like I used to not be able to eat tomatoes. They would give me massive headaches and, you know, they would totally knock me out. Like I felt nothing but fatigue if I ate tomatoes. Now I can eat tomatoes all day long. Doesn't bother me a bit. Right. And that's because I'm healed now. Right. And so, yes, I know you're not going to like me for telling you the truth, but the bottom line is, yes, you've got to give up inflammatory foods when you have too much inflammation in your body. Because the two don't go together. You're just making yourself worse. But once you get better and you turn down that inflammation, then you can go back and try different foods again and listen to your body and see what happens. Okay. So I know you don't like that answer, but I got to tell you the truth.
Well, then you can have this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, look, check this out. Okay, I want to make sure you guys can see this. Okay, without me filling it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is how you should be eating. Okay. It's a nice big piece of grilled fish. It's got lots of garlic and beautiful things. It's got some lemon. It's got some veggies. This is what you need. This is what makes your body happy and healthy. Okay. This is eating like a queen, you guys. Okay. You want to eat like a king or a queen? This is good, healthy, organic food, much lower in toxins and crap than what you find at your grocery store. Yes, it is a little more expensive, but you make up the difference by not buying all the junk, right? So you don't buy the junk, you save that money, and then you put that money into good, healthy quality fish and healthy vegetables and right, good sources of meat. Like I eat steak. People say, oh no, you have to go completely vegan. No, you don't. Maybe your body needs that steak. It depends on your genetics. So I eat steak, I eat fish, I eat chicken, right? And my body loves it. It's what's best for my body because I did the testing and I know. And that's what you guys need to do too. So you guys wish you were me, right? Look what I get to eat tonight. And speaking of which, now that my dinner is sitting right in front of me, let's go ahead and close this down. And it will be up on the YouTube. Okay. And so you guys can watch it on the little live tab on the YouTube. It's also up on Facebook as well. Facebook records everything. So it's up on our Facebook channels. And you will get an email afterwards, again, like what I told you, and there will be your little freebie link. And I hope to see you guys working with me soon, so I can really help you take that next step and, you know, get out of this place of being stuck, get out of the place of being a victim, and actually start doing something more responsible for your health. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Say good night, everybody.
Good night.
Awesome, Balkisa. Good night. Good night.
Good night. Bye, everybody. Hope to see you soon.